Hello everyone. So today we are back again with the next part of our topic of public administration. So last day we discussed the evolution and features of public administration of India, right? Today we will be discussing the last part of our topic that will complete our topic from Polity's perspective. Okay. So today's topic will be the role of Indian public administration in India's government or in the India's governmental institution and how they are responsible for any kind of development in our society. Okay. So for the today's topic will be focused on the developmental administration, right, that is administration of India from the developmental perspective. So the topic of today is role of Indian public administration. Okay, that will be basically from the developmental perspective. Developmental perspective. Also at the end of the topic we will be discussing some of the critiques of the Indian public administration that we have earlier discussed, but somehow we will conclude with that. Okay. So as we know, in the colonial period, the role of the public administration was not for the welfare, right? It was only for the execution of the commands of the British officials during that time, that is following the colonial commands. But as we evolved in our government, that is we switched from a colonial period to an independent period, that is in a democratic society. So in a democratic society, as we know, the main function of the government is the welfare of the society, may that be the social or economic welfare. Now we know this social and that in a democratic society, this social and economic welfare will be achieved through a number of laws, right? If we have a number of laws, that is rules and regulations for our society and the members of our society, may that be governmental members or may that be the citizens of India. If we have the rules and regulation, only then we can reach the aim of development. Now who makes these rules and regulations? So we know that we have three institutions of our government. What are those three institutions? Those three institutions are the legislation which is responsible for formulating the laws, right? Then we have executive body, right? The executive body which is responsible for implementing the laws that is formulated by the legislative body. Then we have the third institution of our government, that is the judiciary. Now this judiciary is responsible for punishing the lawbreakers, right? So we have all these three institutions that work horizontally and make our government institutions or make our governmental rules and regulations effective, right? So we understand from this point of view that when these rules and regulations are formulated, they are formed by the members of parliament, right? Those are known as the legislative body. Now those members of parliament may not be very much adequate with their knowledge, right? They might not have a very good knowledge in every field, because they are our choice, right? They are people's choice, and people's choice are not always the educated. Okay, we also have a number of MLAs who are not educated, but they are very good leaders, right? So we know that these elected political leaders are not very good in every field. They are not experts. They do not have expertise of every field, of every sphere where we need development. So who actually conveys them? What kind of development do we need? Who actually conveys them? What kind of rules and regulations should we implement, should we formulate? So now comes the roles of the bureaucrats, or whom we call as the Indian public administrators. These Indian public administrators, what they do is they are posted in the regional regions, right? They are regionally posted. Now they have very much idea of their regional deficits, what kind of deficits they have in their regional areas, right, for their respective regions. Now in their respective regions, what kinds of deficits they have, they conveyed, they communicated to the members of the parliament, to the MPs. Now these MPs, again on the basis of the information given by the bureaucrats, given by the public administrators, formulate the laws. Now hence these laws are formulated, then it is again executed also by the bureaucrats, and these bureaucrats again makes the country, makes the society stable and make the developmental process more and more effective. So we discussed that the main role of the bureaucracy, that is the Indian public administration in India, is the efficacy of the developmental goals, that is of the developmental programs. These developmental programs are also informed by the bureaucrats and also executed by the bureaucrats. We know that bureaucrats are the permanent executive body of our government. In our government, we have two kinds of executive body. One is political executive, who are non-permanent members, that is who are actually changed after every 5 years. But bureaucrats are those kinds of executive body which are permanent. That means when they are recruited once, they are only removed from their post when their retirement age comes or when their duration of retirement is completed, right? So duration of tenure of the service is completed, that is the time of retirement comes along. So we know that this permanent executive body also makes the decentralization very much effective. We know that decentralization is very much necessary for our democratic society to be more and more democratic. What do we understand by democratic society? Democratic society means that the government is formed by the people, it is working for the people, and it is formed of the people, right? So this bureaucratic department, this Indian public administration is very much fulfilling the criteria of decentralization by raising the demands, by raising the needs and aspirations of the regional society, of the village area, of the district area, of the state area, to the central government, to our parliament. This is how they are contributing in the developmental processes. Okay, so our next topic will be whether the public administrators are politically committed or they are neutral. We will be discussing about that. We will also be discussing about whether this political commitment is a merit or a demerit to our society, or whether this political neutrality is a merit or demerit to our society. Okay, we will be discussing about it. So our topic is whether the bureaucrats are committed or neutral. What do we understand by being politically neutral? So, by being politically neutral, we mean that very first thing, the bureaucrats should be working in the public's confidence. Whether the public is supporting any political party, the bureaucrats should still work for them without their political inclination. What do we understand by this? By this we understand that whether any bureaucrat, any IS officer, IPS officer, they might be having any kind of political inclination, whatever party they wish they could support, okay, but they should work neutrally for the public without analyzing whether the public is supporting their favorite party or they are not supporting, right. So, very first thing or very first nature of being politically neutral is what? That they should work on public confidence without any favoritism. Okay. Now, second feature of political neutrality is that we know that the public administrator is a permanent executive body. Now, this permanent executive body, it will remain in the function whether a political party in the central will change or remain, right. We have regular elections, whether that is general election or state election, in every 5 years. Now, there is a possibility that after 5 years their favorite political party might change, right, yet they should remain loyal subordinate to either their state government or their central government. So, second most important feature of a politically neutral bureaucrat is that they should remain a loyal subordinate to each and every party government. That is, we understood whether the state government is formed by their favorite political party or not, whether the central government is formed by their favorite political party or not, they should remain loyal and they should work for their welfare and for their plans and development goals efficacy. Okay. And the third most important feature of, we will be erasing this, the third most important feature of a politically neutral bureaucrat is that the recruitment process should not involve any kind of favoritism by any political orientation, by any political party. We already know that the political public administrators are recruited by competitive exams, that is either through UPSC or through SSC or any other subordinate exams. We know that, right? State PCS. So, this is one of the most important character or feature of political neutrality of the bureaucrat. What is that? That is the recruitment. Should be based on merit and not on the basis of now we know that our Indian public administration fulfills all these three functions, right, has all three features. So, we can say that Indian public administration is a politically neutral organization. So, is that a merit? We can say somehow that it is a merit because it does not involve people of same class or people of same background, right? It does not involve people amongst the same background or of the same class. But what is one demerit that we say? The one demerit of being not committed to any political party is that if any bureaucratic organization would be committed to a political party, that means they would work very hard, more hard than they are working right now in fulfilling the development goals of their respective political party, right? Right now they are just performing their duties because they are politically neutral. They are very narrow in their perspective, very narrow in their performance of duty in their functions. But if they would have been committed to any political party, they would have done anything. They would have worked day and night for the progress and development of their political party's policies or programs, right? So this is somehow one of the demerit that we see of being non-politically neutral, right? That is of being being politically neutral. That means if they would have been committed to any political organization, any political party, they would have worked more effectively. Efficacy would have been very accurate. Okay.